You talking about a 10, a 9 point, the highest it could have ever been, but y'all ain't kissing and fucking. The fuck? Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Married at First Sight, Season 20, Episodes 7, 8, and 9. Today, we are specifically going to be discussing in this episode Mecca and Bella and Nikki and Shawn, and then we will have a part 2 with the rest of the couples. So make sure you check that out. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this episode, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, and be in the comments. Let us know your thoughts, because some people didn't believe in my Bellejolie and Mecca love, and I still believe. Okay, I still believe. Okay.
I don't know. I'm less of a believer. We might as well start with them.
Yeah, girl. Everything I see from them, I like. But also, I might have a little bit of an issue sometimes with being the heavy emotional weight in the relationship. Okay, I might have a problem with it, but I like them. I like them because I just think that I think Mecca isn't like not trying. I think he just doesn't know how to do that work. But I think that he's very genuine. And I loved the way that after, let's skip ahead all the way to the end, when they were in that kitchen, I thought that from the previews that she was going to be fussing at him, but she was out here talking about like all the nitpicking. Like I do think in that session, they were kind of chipping away at his confidence of the progress they were making. And I think it was important to say he needs to open up, yes, and feel worthy of love. And there's that work, but I feel like they didn't go down the road of giving him tools or giving him like support for how to do that. There was just like all this talk about performative, and I don't know if he was being performative. They both felt they were being authentic. I felt like, you know, situations where it's like you can't get advice from everybody, and I'm not trying to say that they were giving them bad advice. I'm saying that sometimes people don't see like your personality, or there may be like a cultural sort of thing, because I feel like he was being genuine. I didn't feel like he was being performative, but I don't know.
I thought he was putting on a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Because I'm like, you over here talking about, oh my gosh, he's talking, but you got like this like thing in the air, and as soon as Bellejolie brought it up, his face kind of like in tone and mood shifted a little bit. I do agree, though, that the experts could have given him some tools, some homework. Like, we haven't really seen that for them. Like, their homework was to have sex, but it's like, it's not just having sex. Like, there's an actual block that Mecca is having, and a large one, right, that's rooted in trauma and these past experiences, where it's not like sex is not just gonna fix it, you know?
For sure.
So he definitely, I think, needs just like his own therapeutic process so he can work through some of those things. Now, I will say, like, and we called this from the very beginning, that Bella, she's very accommodating and like complimentary to his insecurities, you know, like she reassured him even through like all of those conversations and afterwards, and said like, you're not in this alone. I've also had, you know, my trauma and things like that. But I still do wonder if it is going to become exhausting if he's not moving the needle. And I don't even want to say like fast enough, because the stuff that it seems like he has to work through is going to take a lot of time. And, you know, I'm just wondering how patient Bella is willing to be. I really feel like that's going to be kind of like what either carries this relationship forward or doesn't. If Bella can be patient enough and understands the amount of work. And maybe she does, because she's had to do it on her own. But Mecca, he has some deep, he is a very, I hate to say it, but he comes off very insecure. I saw it in the first batch of episodes. I saw it now. Like, he internalizes everything very deeply. You could just see it in his body language.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that session with everyone was not ideal, and I like it for him. You know what I'm saying? And how he processes things. I think all of the criticism started. You could just, I feel like, see him do this. And I feel like that's why I really liked Bellejolie's response in terms of all the nitpicking. Like, you're good over here. You know what I'm saying? I am good. I appreciate who you are and what you bring, because I think that what we're talking about is just his baggage. It's not like a lack of effort or intention, or I guess I'm trying to say it's not an active malicious.
Like
You said what?
I said, like Felipe.
Yeah, that's literally who I was thinking of this whole time when I'm trying to describe. I'm like, Felipe has some actually like
relationship disruptive behavior.
Yeah, and it's like this is definitely disruptive for sure. I'm not trying to say it's not like disruptive because it's just out of sort of his control, his conscious control right now, right? But it's something I feel like with her level of patience and with his I think his desire to be there. Now, the only question I ever have on him is his attraction piece, because I hear more that he's like, it's growing. And I'm like, okay, so like we said last time, there was something to what he said. You get what I'm saying? There was something to what he said. No, it was, girl.
I still don't think it's he
said attraction is growing stronger. It's getting better. And I'm like, I feel like there was something to what he said. I think it's not that, and somebody said this in the comments, and I think they might be onto something, is that maybe he was expecting for his attraction to her to be a little bit more. Not necessarily that he doesn't find her attractive, because she, quite honestly, she more baddie than him. Okay, I was like,
for real, she's a beautiful woman.
I'm like,
I keep every episode. I'm like, she looked better with no makeup. To me.
I mean, she looks great in all.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Like, it's like she just, when she takes off, she's fine. When she puts it on, she's fine. And so it's like, I don't understand what would be the issue, but also beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, everybody, I'm a firm believer that everybody got somebody that they're like, ooh, it's you. And so I feel like for him, it may be that he finds her attractive, or like is like, oh, maybe it's like the attraction level is like a 7.5 out of 10, which ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? But I thought I'd be at a 10 out of 10, or I'd be at 9.5 out of 10. And maybe that little bit of a gap is what he's talking about. Now, when he was talking all about the mental boner or whatever, it felt like what he was saying is that he's got an emotional connection with her that is actually turns him on, or like is stimulating for him. But I feel like people took that a certain way. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, they did at the table. No, I think that he is attracted to her. And fully, I think it is. I still stand on it's his fears. You know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning, he said, yes, it's growing. But then at the end, you're saying you have this, he called it sexual anxiety, but it's performance anxiety about how you show up in the bedroom because you've been rejected. So I think, again, he's using these words to like not put it on what he is going through internally. And like, I think it's easier to communicate through like attraction and like, oh, my feelings aren't necessarily like in the love bucket, but they're strong. He's like, love, like, oh my God, ew, cringe. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is literally like, he comes off to me as very just immature a little bit. Like it's almost like little boy Mecca shows up when it's time to have the tougher conversations or like to confront what he's actually going through. I think him saying that he has performance anxiety was the realest thing he said through this entire season, because I'm like, ding, 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 like that is it, right? On top of the fact that he's, you know, he has also talked about like just this fear of being rejected, but we're not gonna act like that don't hit a man's ego to its core. You know what I'm saying? Like, to know that you cannot show up and please a woman the way that she wants to be pleased, on top of just the other things that we have seen. You know, his mother is not in his life, the things with his father, right? Telling him like, if you ain't getting this and getting that, like, imagine your daddy telling you, oh, if a girl ain't coming on strong and she ain't kissing you and da 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 da, and then you come to find out when stuff start going down, you ain't pleasing a girl. Like, I'm sure he is like mind fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. He's had a lot of mixed messaging coming to him about what love is, what attraction is, what it means to be desired. And so I think him having someone like Bella, I'm sure it is very reassuring and whatnot, but I don't think he knows how to receive it. And so for him, he's communicating in ways where it's like, it's not connecting. It's not connecting. That's why I feel like even I was with Michelle. It was performative because you saying one thing, doing another, you going back and forth. Like it is like a little bit of, I wouldn't call it as strong as like emotional whiplash, but it is a little bit like, like you doing all of this, you saying all this, but you just said to her that you're not attracted to her.
But I guess it's like Bella brought that up, so it's like he was on a high of this is where we were, and then she brings up this what happened a couple days ago, whenever. Right. And so
according to how we saw it.
Yeah, but I'm saying like whatever it was a reference back. She was recalling something had already happened. So he's like in a different mindset, right? So like the whiplash, I mean, I would have liked to see more of that conversation actually, because
for real.
I was like, where is the rest of this? Because I was like, he needs this. I remember writing down my notes, like he needs people to see like, yeah, no, buddy, like all these reactions that everyone's saying, you don't say that. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we think things are okay until the community shows us like, oh, no. And then you start reframing how you view something. And so,
because some people were like, that's a good question. And I was like, the hell, it's a terrible question. But I say it was like whiplash because it was almost like Mecca was putting on to say everything is good and gravy and we're only moving upward. Like there hasn't been any challenges. And then Bella comes around and is like, oh, wait, no, actually, we did have this tough moment. And then he's like, yeah. And after that, I felt the shift. So it's like, it's not all good and gravy and y'all just...
I don't think he said it was all good and gravy. That's the thing, I guess. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe I just be like, I have a little soft spot in my heart.
Everybody got a soft spot for Mecca. To be quite honest, everybody do. Even the therapist. That's why she was like, I'm getting tearful. Like, I have a soft spot for Mecca, but he does need to be held accountable. And at the same time, I don't think he needs to be 110% like coddled as much as
I agree. Like I guess I'm just saying that like I did not look at what he was doing at that dinner as something that like when you say that he's saying, oh, it's all great, it's all great, it's all great. I think he was just sharing, this is what I like about her. He didn't say we didn't have any problems. She just brought in the problems because with multiple couples, there was that sort of kind of way of going. Certain people might have said what the good part was, and then somebody brought in the bad part. Like I think with Felipe and Tori, he said, blah, 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 we were vibing, blah, 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 blah. And then she shared, I left after sex, you know what I'm saying? And so I just felt like that was just the happenstance of how that happened. I didn't feel like he was trying to say, we have no issues. I think he was trying to celebrate what he liked about the relationship. But I also can't say that like, I would die on a hill that he wasn't being performative. So I just wanted to say that's kind of how I view it and just give voice to that perspective on just, I think that's just what he was doing. But in these episodes also, we saw him take her with him to work. Okay. And to the porta potty thing. And like, I'm always here for Bellejolie. Like the way she was just like, this is good work. I'm proud of you. You should be proud. Like, I love her energy. She's just a cheerleader in life. And I love her energy. And they also met the grandma, which was, kind of cute too. She was like, now get on out of here.
Right. No, that was
get
cute.
back to work.
I was like, yeah, I was, if I was Bella, I'd be like, yeah, girl, I'll be sitting in this little desk doing making all the transactions because I know the porta potty business is very lucrative. I didn't even think about the fact that there's like porta potties at parks and stuff that they would have to go and clean. I'm like, when you think of porta potties, you just think of like events and stuff like that. At least me. And so I'm like, oh yeah, there's also the porta potties that's just sitting there 24/7 that got to be tended to and replaced and all the things. So yeah, it's definitely a year round and lucrative business for sure. And she said, we the only black porta potty in these, what she said, the Northwest South Pacific, something like that. I said, no, that's like, girl, you better get down to the region.
I know that's right.
Another thing I wanted to say though about the whole job thing, because she was like, oh yes, ooh, my man. I was like, Bella, you so impressed because this is the most masculine you done seen your man. Okay, that.
Why do you not like Mecca? What is
I love Mecca. Mecca just got work to do, okay?
What?
And Mecca,
you don't think he's masculine?
Mecca to me has a lot more feminine energy than masculine energy to me. Like the way he comes off, he is not like pursuer. He is not like protector. He's not giving that protector provider like,
Okay, I can
I'm
see
a
it.
I'm gonna come get you, girl. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's another reason why I don't want because even in that group session, like Bella, she kind of came in and saved him a little bit. I'm like, he needs to sit in the discomfort just a little bit. Like, I don't want him to get dogpiled on.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But I do think that he needs to have more interactions with the discomfort around these feelings
Yeah.
instead of just fleeing. And Bella, I'm like, Bella, girl, you cannot keep like rescuing him in these
Yeah.
moments,
Yeah.
because the fact that he has not sat with them is why you're having to rescue him, and you are dealing with the side effects of him not sitting with the shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I think he needs that. That's why I'm like, yeah, go ahead, y'all. Like, just
Well, I think that's a great, excellent point, because I wasn't even thinking about that as much. I also think, though, that before somebody is able to sit in the discomfort, I think it's important that they understand that that's what is needed. You get what I'm saying? Because otherwise it can be you just living in the trauma again, if that makes sense. So you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I think there's a way to give somebody the roadmap to like, yeah, you still have to sit in this, but this is why. This is the goal of it. Because when you sit in this space, you find your way through. You find your way out of the dark room when you have to feel your way around, as opposed to every time you get in a dark room, somebody's like, oh, I'm turning on the light for you, I'm turning on, then you don't develop that skill. And so if he understands that like this pain has purpose, then it's like it's easier to go through the pain, as opposed to it being like, oh, this is just trauma again, y'all piling on me, and he's not equipped to sit through the discomfort, if that makes sense. It feels like he needs to somebody to give that roadmap of like, you got to sit in it, almost the way they gave it to Adam, that like you keep deflecting. You get what I'm saying? You keep not trying to sit in whatever this uncomfortable deep moment is. Like, there's work in there for you to do that. And I feel like that, I don't think has been articulated for him. And I think that if he doesn't get that roadmap, I'm not saying he can't do it, because people do it every day. The discomfort just, somehow they work through it. But I think if we want it to be more streamlined and him to get there quicker, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody can give him a roadmap a little bit so he can understand.
Yeah. I think it's just as simple as naming. And like, in my therapeutic approach with my clients, I am very much so like solution focused, and like, no, like there's a do to this. Like, if you want to change the experience you're having, you have to do something. I literally had an experience not too long ago where somebody was like, you just don't let me sit and wallow. And I'm like, I'm not the right fit for you if that's what you want, because you are coming here saying and acknowledging that this is an issue. And Mecca, at the very least, he acknowledges that it's an issue, and I think he's had enough history to see the impact of the issue. And I think because you are in this experience and you have chosen to commit to somebody, it's almost like Mecca now has put himself in a position to have to accelerate his own process.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And maybe he didn't realize what all it was going to take,
Yeah.
which is another great reason that he's paired with Bella, because Bella so far has seemed very patient. But to me, I'm like, yeah, Mecca, we got to sit down and give you some of them little gut punches, just a little bit, at least, so it can translate into a conversation or like a debrief or a something, so that you can start digging in there and figuring out what it is. And I feel like it's working, because for him to say at the very end, like, I've diagnosed myself with this, but I do have a little bit of sexual anxiety. I was like, bravo, Mecca, like, name it. Let's start naming it, figuring it out, because now we know it ain't your attraction. You scared you about to get rejected in the bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole mind thing right there. Yeah. And it could literally just be like literally could have been like at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, you really, 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 really liked the girl, and then you just, and it was over. And forever on, you trying to control that. So like, and going back to that 150 versus 80 who like each other more type of thing, you trying to control it, you get what I'm saying? Because in the past, when I liked them so much, like that, and those things really stick with you. In middle school, I had a whole horrible thing that happened, and I was thinking to myself, maybe this is why you don't do XYZ, why you don't like to do this, because it wasn't a traumatic experience, quite honestly. But for a middle schooler, it was.
Yeah.
And so it's like those things like stick with you a little bit, and you just like, oh, you don't realize that they're actually stuck with you and that they're shaping your behavior. It could literally be something as simple as that. And then, anytime you in your head and you got anxiety about doing something, it makes every time you try to do it worse. Like you actually perform worse. And so it may be a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's like that first couple times made you nervous, and then you moved into every other situation nervous, and you kept repeating these unorganic results. And so who knows?
He got to get in there and dig deep, and I want him to dig deep, and I want him to dig deep quickly so that he does not lose Bella. Like I feel like this was like a match made in heaven for his issues, and that's why I'm like, just face it, Mecca, face it, because you're gonna lose out on somebody super amazing and great. Because especially because they get along so well, right? Like they're so complimentary to each other in terms of personality and who they are, and the fact that they can say that they, they both have consistently said they feel like they're the same person. So yeah, it's like, just do it. This is the time for you to kind of step into your masculine a little bit more and say, I don't want to lose this girl. Let me figure my shit out. Like, and that's just all I want to see. So
one thing you said made me think about Bella. When you said not losing Bella, it made me think about the group session and how the experts kind of just basically called out the fact that they felt like he wasn't choosing her, and that she was absolutely choosing him. And it's interesting because that was uncomfortable for me to like watch a little bit, because I was like, oh, that's like, why are y'all saying that? But also at the same time, maybe there is, not even maybe, I recognize that there is truth in that. I don't think it was a malicious thing on his part. I don't think he's actively not trying to choose her. I think he doesn't realize that it's not just be here and y'all together and that's a choice. It's no, you have to actively step into that role of like, yeah, I'm here. Almost like what Felipe said, committing every day, but at least just committing initially. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think he just thinks his presence, and sometimes that happens with a lot of men. They think their presence alone is sufficient. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm showing up for you. It's like, no, you need to actively bring all of you to this situation, and you need to have a firm stance that I choose you. I choose you, the way she is operating and choosing him. And so it was uncomfortable, but I do think that was accurate. But Bellejolie looked a little uncomfortable, or emotional or something listening to it. And so I was like, if she, to me, that would be the thing that would make her to leave, not necessarily all the reassuring that she has to do for him, because she seems like that's the type of person that she views herself as nurturing and, I'm gonna lift you up. But I feel like if she feels like, you're not choosing me back in a way that feels calming for my nervous system, then I think she would leave. So
yeah, I agree. I think also too, in addition to the choosing, it is, don't allow Bella to be the person who is carrying the relationship emotionally. Like, you have to show it. I think that's more so in my opinion, what the experts were getting at. Like, Bella is doing a lot of the communicating. She's doing a lot of the reassuring. She's doing a lot of like showing up for you, being your cheerleader. Like, she's holding all of that space, and there's nothing you can reciprocate to her in that space, because you're the one who is deficient almost, right? Like, and you don't have the capacity to choose her back in that same way, because it's like she's constantly pouring into like this empty well, and you have, your holes are just, they're wide as hell. We don't know if they're closing up so that you can pour back into her. So I think that's kind of what they were hinting on. I feel like they could have explained it a little bit better, because I feel like what you just said, like choosing, just like, no, like I'm here, like I don't know what they're saying, or what's being. Did we see their expert session?
Yeah, we did, but it was about the sex. It was about the sex.
Yeah, they needed a little bit more, I think. And I want them to say, hey, Mecca, we're gonna have some private sessions with you,
Hell
or like
yeah.
Mecca, we're gonna get you a side therapist. Like that's what I want to see.
Yes, because I need somebody to talk about. Okay, how does that feel? Like, cause I'm still unclear. I could see that it's just like this cloud of like something stuck right there. There's blockages, right? But I'm unclear as to how a person doesn't feel worthy of receiving love. I need somebody to break that down for him, because it's like it feels like, and make the connections between like the abandonment stuff with his mom and his stepmom. We need some clarity to happen in terms of him. He need to like do a little emotional housekeeping, putting stuff on shelves, because I need to understand. I mean, not for me, but it would be nice as a viewer to see it. But I'm saying it feels like there's not enough getting in there for him with the therapist and stuff like that to get a picture. It doesn't even feel like he has a picture of it. It's just like, nah.
Yeah, because he's been scooting it to the side for so long.
Yeah. But anywho, anything else on them before we move on?
No, I think that is it. Should we move on to Shawn and Nikki?
Yeah, Shawn and Nikki, they need to just call it a wrap. I'm with everybody who was at that last session talking about some. I am step. It's one step. It's not. We're not going to the moon. Like, yeah, no, that's how I feel. Because at the end of the day, both y'all saying no. I mean, he may say yes because he likes to look good for the cameras. I agree with her.
Right.
But she
do too.
You think she does?
She was absolutely triggered when he went in there and was airing out the dirty laundry, because she whispered in that first group thing, I am trying to figure out how I speak about this relationship without embarrassing you. She said, you did not represent us well. I expect my man to show up and represent us well and to speak highly of us. And so that round 2 was most definitely
but she started talking. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, she started talking about, I don't think that she does stuff with the cameras. I think she does it maybe to be right, to show that she's right, No,
I'm talking about the idea of like upholding this image.
That's I don't think she does that for that. I think that's him. I think he is an image focused person. He wants to seem like he's doing the thing, and that's why it's like, or maybe it's just delusion, because even when he was like 7.5 and she was like a 2, it's like, is it delusion? Because it's something about him that's unable to, is too rosy colored and trying to show it and say it. I think for her, she just wants to be right, and she's like, I can air the fact that we are a conflict, whatever, as long as I come off, I guess, maybe this is where our theories unite. As long as I come off looking good and being right. Like, I don't know, but like, I feel like that's her main goal. Is not necessarily for them as a couple to look right, but for her to look right. Yes. And okay. So we
cares about her image, most definitely.
I thought you were saying that like she wants to paint this good picture that they're all good together. And I'm like, I think that's what he's
No, I think the fact that they didn't want to go in there talking bad about each other, like she wants that mainly for herself. That is why they came in there in the second round in this more bubbly, vivacious spirit. But she gets frustrated anytime like their conflict moves into him saying something about her, like whether it's you're being anxious or this or that, you're coming off, X, Y, and Z. She's like, you're mischaractering me and da-da-da-da-da. Like, she cares about her image. And I mean,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying, it's her image. She's separate. Yeah. And I think him, for whatever reason, he thinks as a we a little bit, but more as she is an extension of him. It's like a selfish we, if that makes sense. It's like, so it's like, I'm going to keep it cute because that reflects on me. The we reflects on me. But I don't know. They a mess. It's no even.
They are.
They a mess.
They need to call this shit.
Yes.
I'm like, you talking about a 10, a 9 point, the highest it could have ever been, but y'all ain't kissing and fucking. The fuck?
Yeah.
The hell?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not confused. Y'all don't need to be together, okay?
Like, yeah. Well, it was funny though when he was like, "You should leave." Maybe after the first thing, and she was like, "Here's your jacket." Yeah, jacket. I was like, she ain't say less, okay? She ain't say
Yes.
nothing else. Yeah,
Yes.
did a little
She didn't
show
say
the
you just
lip.
giving up on me. She ain't give no fight, baby. She said I need space. This is too small, and I need no talking. Not
I
friendly talking. I
know.
need no talking.
But you know what though? It's so interesting. I do have, because at first I was like, I ain't got nothing to say about them. This is wrong, whatever. But I've been in dynamics like this where like when Shawn was saying, you just think I do everything wrong. I'm just the blame. I'm just the blame. It's more of like they both are misaligned in how they would like to live. And they're trying to say, this is what you need to do to bring your whether you over here, I'm over here, we're misaligned, to bring you over here so that we can be aligned. And he's trying to sort of say the same thing, but more in a passive way. He thinks like, if you just calm down, then we'll be good. And that's, he's not realizing that's his way. His way is like, I don't need to deal with all these different things because they don't matter to me. And so let's just enjoy life. And then her way is, no, these things matter to me, so let's deal with them. And they're just like trying to get each other to be in their way, you know, to get aligned with them. And so they're just missing each other. But when you said just now that that she was like, I need no talking. That's what sparked that thought in me about how like they are misaligned. Like, you know what I mean? He's saying like, we can just be here and not have any. No, I don't want, what I want is fundamentally in opposition to what you want, you know? And so it's just, there's no, either somebody's got to give or it's just not going to work. They're going to keep having these bumps.
It's just not going to work.
No,
I don't think anybody could give.
Yeah.
Like this is like absolutely insane. And the fact that she's still talking about like, now we're at a place, you know, where my physical connection can grow. It's like, oh, that also hasn't been getting worked on, and y'all, you know, almost to the halfway point. So I don't know. It's too much. But I was with the when they did their private session and he talking about something because of my childhood. I was like, oh my God, here we go with another dissertation speech. Like, I was with the experts, like, please, like, even when he said the whole when they were at the group session and he said that one thing, like, truly just like it sparked something in me. I'm like, even this is a fake ass response. He is too in his head about how he presents his words.
Yeah.
He's always on.
Yeah, no, I
He's
agree.
always on.
Yeah. I wonder, I was thinking to myself, I wrote in my notes actually, I was like, I wonder if she ever just goes to these producers and is just like, y'all played in my face. I'm not gonna hold you, but you played in my face. Because I do think they did. Like, it's like, I if I was Nikki, I'd be like, I'm the good TV at my personal happiness expense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the expense of my happiness or my vulnerability to come onto this show, you guys have turned me just into your good TV bit, and like, you know, fuck you.
Yeah, no, honestly. Really, it's kind of crazy because it's like Shawn does have like some personality things where it's like, if you're not into this, you're just not into this. But she wants somebody who's not sure. I think she should have been a little bit more firm about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's like the crux of like where the lack of attraction
is.
starts.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But also, he doesn't make it any better. Like, he just really doesn't make it better. His personality is just very, I tend to like intelligent men, and when you deal with a lot of intelligent men, you're gonna run across some of them that are just like cocky or like too in their logic. And that too in their logic, I've dealt with that quite a bit. And I think with him, it's like that insides. I think if he was tall and he was acting like this too, I don't think she would have liked it. Because she said something like, I want the leader, I want my husband to lead. I want to feel comfortable in his leadership. I'm not sure if does thou know thyself? Because I don't know if that's what she wants. Like, she's not giving, and I know different men can bring out different sides of a woman, but she's giving that she wants a man that gives her the assuredness and like his presence, but he's laid back. Like she want a laid back ass motherfucker. Like so, all of this like leadership ass. Like I don't know if she's gonna be. I think she is. I don't know if she's gonna be. If that's what she wants, because I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because she's with somebody she's not attracted to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
and at like you said, different men bring out different things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm the type of person I gotta look at you and say, "Daddy." If I don't look at you and say, "Daddy," baby, it's not gonna work. Like, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna be trying to fix you. I'm gonna be trying to like figure out what we could do to like work with this. I'm gonna be just saying shit that this probably isn't the nicest thing to say, and not like because I'm being rude, but it's just like, why would you say that to somebody? You know. So yeah. Oh, it's hard. But I've also been in situations where the attraction started off very, very well, and because they did not show the leadership qualities and things like that, I was right back in that spot, like Build a Bear.
No, it definitely happens. Like the insides can change the way someone looks, in good or bad ways.
Both ways, for sure. Well,
it goes both ways for me. I've seen it go both ways. I have personal experience where I was not attracted. It wasn't that I thought they were like horrible, but they just weren't like that. I just didn't think they were attractive at all. And then their personality just, once I actually had my first conversation with them, I was like, the hell, this man. And I just never, they looked totally different after that. Just totally different.
Yeah, it hasn't gone that way for me where it's like they're not that attractive and it goes the other way. And I recently saw a meme where this girl was like, you just be doing shit. Like if I think about my past, I'm like, girl, you was just doing shit. Like,
just trying it out for the plot.
Yeah. For the plot,
but yeah. Well, yeah. But this is what I realized. I was about to say earlier when I was talking about Shawn's insides. I know a guy about Danny DeVito height, very short, very short, very short. But his energy, he's an older guy, so it ain't energy on my direction or whatever. But he stay with him a woman. Okay, it's taller than him, woman. Okay, and his energy. And I remember my mom I was like, oh, he's getting remarried, and my mom was like, go ahead on him. She's like, because it's like an energy. It's like when you bout that shit, you bout that shit. And there's something about his insides that ain't about that shit. And so I can't chalk it all to his height. that's what I was trying to say.
No. That's just where it starts.
It starts for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
The presence isn't there.
On that point though about height, did you think her joke when she was like, I'm 5'5", not her joke, but when she was saying like, I'm towering over you, like, do you think that was about his height? Or I assumed that because she seemed genuinely like, what are you guys talking about? I thought she was saying like he was sitting down and she stood up and she's like, here I am, saying that I thought she was pointing to the fact that I'm a short woman and he's like, I'm towering over him. And here I am 5'5". I didn't take it as her trying to make a joke, but everybody was like, whoa. Adam was like,
but it was a height comment.
Adam was like, he was like, yeah, no, you did. And he kept moving forward. I was like, what?
I didn't take it as like a knock on his height. I thought she was almost being sarcastic. Like, you're calling me aggressive. I'm 5'5", a petite woman. Like, what are you talking about? That's how I took it. I didn't think she was coming for his height.
And the fact that she was like, what are you saying? Height? I'm not like, she was genuinely confused. I just think that it's like everybody's like overly sensitive because he is like 5'6", you know?
Yes.
If he's 5'6", I don't know.
I don't know how tall he is.
I thought he said he's 5'6", or somebody said, I don't know. Maybe I just assumed, and I'm like, that's a 5'6", man right there. I don't know. But anyway, anything else on Shawn and Nikki?
No, I think that's it. And just so you guys know, we're going to make this a part 1. And so we'll talk about the rest of the couples in part 2. So if you made it this far, make sure you head on over to that where we will discuss Michelle and Cameron, Adam and Marissa, Nick and Courtney, and Felipe and Tori. Alrighty, bye.